Hello everybody, welcome to this Yin class with a belt and bolster if you have, but it's also okay not to. I know we don't always have props, so you can do this without to, but here's an option. We'll come into a reclined angle, soles of the feet together, drop the knees to the sides, also known as a reclined butterfly. And as you can see, I'm playing around a little bit with where that bolster is. If you've got one, check where you want it to be before you settle into stillness. And we remember that this class, Yin, is all about the parasympathetic nervous system, about grounding energy, about the moon energy rather than the sun. So we're trying to be as still as possible to let calmness come over the body and the mind. And we'll stay in these postures for a long time. And that's why it's important that we're comfortable enough and we don't have to go too deep. This is for your connective tissue, rather than just tackling any muscle tightness that we might be feeling. And if you haven't already, close your eyes. And as you know, I'll keep my descriptions and prompts to a minimum so that you can turn your senses inwards and focus on what's going on inside of you. And maybe we start that by focusing on the breath. How soft it is and where we can feel it. How you're allowing your shoulders and your knees to drop. How the eyelids are also allowed to be heavy. And for the rest of this pose, I want you to observe the rise and fall of the breath. Not just the rise and fall of the stomach, even though that's where we might be feeling the breath in its most pronounced form, but everywhere. Every single little movement. And the breath is like gentle waves on a river and you're on a boat. And nice and slowly from here, observing the breath, move out of the pose on an exhale and in any way you like. And find a comfortable reset pose, a first rebounder. Not necessarily a counter pose, something that allows you to release. And then we are slowly moving on to our next pose. I'll suggest bringing a bolster, if you have one, to your right side. We'll come into a reclined twist. Sometimes the bolster can be closer towards your shoulder as well. We hug our left knee in and we guide it over to the right side and onto the bolster. Some people prefer having the bolster at the back to keep them from rolling backwards. Some people prefer to do this without a prop. Find a very comfortable place, a place where you don't feel like you're stretching deeply, but you feel like you could stay for a very long time. And we settle and we let the head get heavy. We let our eyelids just rest on top of the eyes. And we might even notice that the eyes have slowed down their movement, that they're becoming still, and so does the body. Notice your breath, the rhythm of the breath, the sensations that you can feel that come from the way we've been twisting here. Notice how they've changed, how they feel now versus the beginning of the pose. And then we slowly roll onto the back and find a comfortable rebounder. Let's see where that takes you. As always, don't overthink it. It's not about the intellect. It's about trusting that your body knows what's best for you, and you're learning the language of the body. You're paying attention, you're listening, and just like with any language, that is how we learn. And so our body knows best, and we just comply. And the more we manage to observe how we feel, rather than judge things as good or as bad, something we like or dislike, the more space we give ourselves with anything that happens to us. Any stimulus from the outside world gets perceived by the body. Body passes this on to the brain. It's perceived by the brain, of course. We're talking milliseconds, if that. Now slowly change sides. If you've got a bolster, you might want to bring it to the left side. If you don't, as always, that's fine too. We hug the right knee in towards us, and we guide it over to the left side and onto the bolster. The head might turn to the right, but it really doesn't have to. We check where we want to be. Settle where you want to settle, where you're comfortable, and where you can easily stay without any movement, so that we're not disturbing our body from doing its job. Fascia need that long hold and stillness. We start guiding a few breaths if we want, and using one of the next couple of exhalations to roll onto the back and find a rebounder. Might sigh a sigh. We can always do that whenever we feel like it. And we remember we simply observe how we feel. We don't have to constantly judge things. We don't have to constantly make decisions. That way those concepts in the brain don't have to be relied on. Of course, we need them very much so to make quick decisions, judgments where they're necessary. For example, when we're in a hostile environment. Right now we're safe. We're here to simply observe, to be, to notice what this yin stretch did to us and what we can feel now in our body as a result or not. Doesn't matter, because we don't have to explain or interpret. And we make our way into our next pose, for which we're going to bring the bolster, if we've got one, just in front of the buttocks. So we'll come into legs up the wall. This is of course possible without any props as well. Also, if you have a belt, you might bring it around your feet. You could raise the arms as well as the legs. You could just drop the arms. And again, if you don't have a bolster, just raise the legs. Maybe you want to find yourself a wall and rest the heels against that wall. take a lovely long breath in. As you exhale or sigh out, release and find a comfortable reset posture, both for your body and for your mind. As I always say, a reminder to us that we don't have to rush, that it's just about being in the present moment, whilst accepting that the mind will wander again and again and again. And then wherever you are now, I want you to slowly come up onto all fours. Bring the bolster in front of you if you've got one. And again, this is completely possible, and we can make this comfortable without our bolster. In fact, you might decide not to use it. If you do, hands onto the bolster, and we let ourselves drop. The head, forehead comes to the ground. The shoulders and the chest get heavy, and we try to keep our hips roughly above the knees. See where in your spine you can feel that. If it gets too much for the shoulders, if it's too much with the bolster, and just bring it to the front. And if it doesn't mess with your breathing, if it doesn't change the rhythm of your breath, and it's comfortable for your neck, you could bring the chin to the ground. But you'd need to be quite low for that. It needs to be comfortable. Check where your chest is. Is it in touch with the ground? Again, don't go too deep. That's not what it's about. And then from here, we're slowly going to move into a twist. Your right arm goes over to the left side. You'll make this slightly deeper for your shoulder, for your arm. if you turn your head to the right, or check on your neck. There's other options here as well. We could allow ourselves to open up towards the left side. Maybe even bring that left arm that's currently reaching towards the front behind us. And we decide what we want our focus to be on. Partly, of course, where we're going physically, because there's never just one thing that we're focusing on in a pose. And depending on how we're varying that, we are in control. But the other thing is also where we place our attention. Where is our focus? Because where our mental focus is also where we'll start to feel more. And then nice and slowly we change sides by bringing our right arm back and to the front and the left arm over to the right side, with the head possibly turning to the left. Maybe start turning it to the right, see how that feels. If you feel like you could go deeper, bring the head to the left. Again, check that you're comfortable where you are, that nothing needs to change. And we could here bring our right arm behind our back, maybe straighten the right leg, or push the hips gently over to the left. There's lots of different options, and there's no one size fits all. So find yours, the perfect posture for you. And then we take our time releasing. There was some different variations in one posture, and we're coming into any comfortable position for us. I'm choosing a variation of child's pose, but of course you must go wherever you feel you're giving yourself that release that your body needs. Now our next pose is going to be a sleeping swan, also known as Rajkaput-asana. So the king of pigeons. We bring our right knee to the front, right foot to the left side, and we recline down onto our bolster if we've got one, if we want one. And we could also bring a bolster or a block or whatever else we've got underneath our right hip. So all of these are just options. We don't need any props. You may choose to use some. Now slowly come up and move over to the other side, sending the right leg to the back and left knee to the front. And after that, I promise a long rebounder. Here we should technically be happy with that right leg stretched out. If that doesn't work for you, of course, feel free to pause me and then rejoin when you're ready. And gently, with lots and lots of time, come up and find a comfortable reset posture. I'm choosing to be on the back. You could be anywhere you want to be. Just let yourself feel the sensations leave your body. First, they're very intense, probably as we're releasing. Very often we feel more as we release than we did during the in stretch, which crept up on us in terms of how deep we can feel these sensations. And then we slowly grab our belt, if we have one. A strap, resistance band will do as well. And if you don't have any prop, that's fine too. Bolster just out of the way as we raise our right leg and possibly bring our belt around the foot so that we can gently guide our right leg to the right side. Don't let it drop too much, but go to a place that's comfortable, of course. Maybe pull it further towards your shoulder and settle where you feel you can hold this for a few minutes. As we know, we need those minutes. Around about 3 is the sweet spot. And it's not just helpful for the connective tissue, of course, it's also helpful for us to be still, to really tune into what the body is doing inside of us, all the movements, all the things that are happening that we are not in control of, whilst outwardly being so still. And we slowly release and find a rebounder wherever we want to go. And then we get ready for the other side. We remember we do not need our belt. Even if you have one, you might choose to just gently guide that leg over to the left side by having the left hand on the inner thigh or something. So you decide. And if you feel like your right hip is coming up too much, you could bring your right foot to the ground too. There's lots of options. In fact, you could, I didn't, but you could bring that bolster underneath your leg. Depending on where and how far you get to, that might be helpful. So just play around a little bit before you settle. That long hold really should be in stillness. And how could we possibly achieve that if we didn't make sure that at the beginning we're where we should be? Now let's release slowly, and your rebounder may look exactly the same as before. It may look very different. In fact, it doesn't matter what it looks like. We've been guided by the body to go where it wants us to be. And the next one is already our last pose. And we'll hold it for slightly less long. We're coming into a reclined angle. And if you don't have any props, this may look exactly like the posture that you started in. If you have a bolster, it makes sense to this time not elevate the upper body, but the legs. And we slowly make our way into our last rebounder. Again, we just take our cue from the body. And all we are here to do is to observe the sensations in the body. Not to judge them or label them, not to make decisions. We start stretching. And in our own time and in our own way, coming up into a seated position. Thank you for joining me. Well, before we leave, take a deep breath in and raise the arms. Sigh out and drop the arms. And if your eyes are still closed, rub your hands together. Press the palms over your face. Smile a smile and bring the hands to the heart center.